What's up, cousins? It's your programmer Ryan here. So, I wanted to talk about two very interrelated topics. So, the hardest part of being a programmer for me, that might be different for other people, and then also maximizing productivity because those two topics are completely interrelated in my case. So, what I'm trying to do in this video is I'm trying to give you insights on what I need to do in order to put the work in to get me from where I want to be to those sorts of goals. And yeah, I'm not going to give you a hack, but I'm going to give you what I think is the truth. And one thing I think has been true for my entire career is basically that those people who are going to give you some productivity hack to instantly increase your productivity by 500%, they're basically lying to you. They're, generally speaking, high functioning sociopaths. There's a couple of them on YouTube. I probably don't even need to name them, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. Those people who will tell you not what you need to hear, but what they think you want to hear. I'm here to try and tell you what I think you need to hear, while recognizing you might have different struggles than I do, so it still might not be useful, but at least I'm going to try and be truthful to you. So the hardest part of being a programmer for me is all the things that I need to do outside of the actual act of writing code or running my business in order to be capable of doing those things well for long periods of time. So I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how do I learn to code regularly? How do I learn a programming language? That kind of stuff. What is the fast and easy way to do that was one of the questions recently. And I understand where that question is coming from, especially if you're a younger person. You want to know what is the most efficient path. Just give me the most efficient way I can get from A to B so that I have to do the least amount of work necessary. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to be really concerned about what is the most efficient way to get from A to B. What I'm going to suggest to you is that you work on the skills which will support you in being able to work long hours consistently for many years of your life. And I know that might not be what you want to hear, but like I say, that's what I think you might need to hear. That's what I needed to hear from my teachers. So what does that actually look like? The best way for me to explain what that looks like is to talk about my lifestyle. It's winter time in Canada, so in winter time I usually wake up at about 6 or 6:30 in the morning. Pretty much immediately the first thing I do is I do about a 20-minute workout. I do that workout not entirely because I want to be a pro bodybuilder. That's kind of a side effect. I'm joking. But the reason why I do that workout is because if I don't work out, because of my dysfunctional white trash upbringing, my brain chemistry is all messed up. I have trouble focusing. I'm not in a good mood. I get really ADD. So I do the workout in the morning to make my brain chemistry better so that I can focus for longer. That's the primary benefit. After I do my morning workout, I'll either meditate or I'll go straight into my first work item, which is usually either the most difficult work item or the work item I am least interested in working on. So that's a really important point there. So during this period from when I wake up at 6:30 until usually about 11 a.m., I don't eat any food. I have a coffee, and I hydrate. I have like a large cup of water, and I'll take sodium and potassium, but I won't actually eat anything. Why do I do that? Because for me, fasting sharpens my mind. So that's why I do that. Later in the day, after my first meal, I know that anytime I eat food, because of the way my body works, my mind will get very sort of unskillful and I'll have a hard time studying anything. So after I eat my breakfast essentially around 11, I'll just go for a walk for like 20 to 30 minutes. And usually that helps a little bit to sort of settle my mind down. I'll try and do another work period where I'll work for another 2 to 4 hours, at which point I'll eat dinner And yes, I eat dinner sometime, usually between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. And the reason why is that I try to basically keep my eating window within about 8 hours. Again, the reason why I do that is I find, generally speaking, if I eat a lot earlier in the day, it's easier for me to wake up early in the morning. That's just been my experience. In the evenings, I will try to fit in some kind of a social life where I'm interacting with my girlfriend or my friends or something like that. And of course, that's difficult in this time of pandemic. But I try and do something like that. But all of that is with the understanding, and the people around me have had to get used to the fact that I almost can never stay up past. I almost can never talk to people or be video gaming or chatting or whatever past 9 p.m. Because at 9 p.m., if I don't shut all my screens off and basically do a stretching routine to unglue my mouse arm and all kinds of stuff like that, to stretch out my hip flexors, I'll have a really crappy sleep, and then I'll really struggle the next day to get up on time and to do my workout and to have a productive day. So the point I'm trying to get at here is that I think sometimes we think people who work out and manage their stress levels and manage their time and follow personal standards and those sorts of things, we think they must be special people. My experience has been that all of those things that I do are the reason why I'm able to study code for 8 to 10 hours a day or write articles for 8 to 10 hours a day or whatever I happen to be doing. So this is the really key takeaway. The most difficult part of being a programmer, a content creator, a business owner, whatever you want to call me, is everything I have to do in order to actually be capable of focusing on something as challenging as writing code or writing a technical article or running a business. All of the things I need to do outside of that in order to actually maximize my productivity. What I'm trying to communicate here is that if you really have big goals, if you want to teach yourself to code, you don't necessarily have to dive into doing the kind of regime and personal standards that I do. In fact, I don't suggest you dive in and take everything on at once. What I suggest you do is you pick one thing. First, what you need to do is you need to look at everything you do in a day, and you need to keep asking yourself a question. Does this make me feel like crap the next day? If you wake up on a certain day and you feel awful, you got a bad sleep, you have brain fog, whatever it is, I want you to ask yourself the question over a period of months. What did I do yesterday that made me feel like this now? And what you'll do is over time, you'll build up like a mental model of all the different things you do daily that either make you feel better, make you feel more focused, and allow you to be more productive, or completely the opposite of that. And it's taken me seriously like 7 or 8 years to actually figure out what all these little dials are, all the little things that have significant effects on my ability to be productive and to get the most amount of work done. But when you get the good habits going, then maximizing productivity and being happier and getting more done is something that directly follows from following those personal standards. So I hope that rambling was useful for you. If you enjoyed it, please do me a favor, hit the like button down below, consider subscribing, and if you have any other questions about being a programmer or writing code or whatever the hell, let me know in the comment section down below, and I might just answer your question in a video like this. Thank you for watching. Peace out.